How's it going, everyone? In today's video, I'm going to try to explain my goalie playstyle that I use in esports hockey league, other league, clubs, everywhere else. A lot of people like watching us play, so if you're new to goalie, you want to learn the ins and outs of how we play, this is the video for you. If you're an experienced goalie who just wants to compare playstyles, or maybe you want to see what I do in certain situations that you might struggle with, and add that to your game, this can help you in that way as well. And also, if you have any goalie questions, leave them in the comments below and I will try to answer them in a separate video. An important disclaimer is that these are guidelines and not rules. Every situation is different, and in the end, do what needs to be done to make the save. I'm going to start with something very basic before I get into the more advanced stuff. Every time the puck leaves the zone, I try to reposition my goalie in this spot. If they enter the zone through the middle, I'm good to go. If they're going to enter from the left or from the right, I use a controlled half push with the left stick. And the half push is very important. If there are any goalies who just, they usually seem to struggle, you get sniped from the blue line, this is how you can fix that. In regards to depth and positioning, I always try to position myself for two things: the shot and everything else. Whether it's the one-timer, the rebound, the deflection, I always try and position myself that gives me the best chance to stop basically everything. Now overall, I like to play somewhat deep in the crease. Not too deep, I don't want to get sniped, but deep enough to where it cuts down the distance that I need to move side to side, and that really helps for one-timers and rebounds. Now for me personally, I think it's easier to start somewhat deep, and then when it's time to challenge a shot, move ahead and be aggressive, than starting, too far out of the crease and retreating, but that's just me. As I said, I do like to play somewhat deep in the crease, but there are times where you need to trust your defense and just challenge the shot. Now this is when there's someone winding up with a wrister or a slap shot in the slot. It's a prime area of the ice. I definitely don't want to get sniped, so I'm just going to take a quick step towards the shooter and cut off the angle. For wider angle shots, do I hold the post or do I move in front of the post with the left stick? It's very situational. We definitely need to protect short side. And I try to use whatever will help me stop the one-timer or a wraparound, if that's a possibility. Now, most of the time, I'm going to try the stand-up post hug. It's really easy moving to the middle of the crease for centering passes. How often do I use the right stick? Not very often. I use it like a desperation move, and if I do, it's to my glove side, as the glove side animations are much more reliable than blocker side. And you can also use it when the puck is behind the net if you want to try and stop a wraparound. Now, talking about wraparounds, there are two methods that I like to use. The first is an obvious wraparound. There's no serious threats in front of the net. I'm definitely going to go with the reverse VH, that's the butterfly and the post button. Or you can use the right stick and just grab onto that post as quickly as possible. The second method I use is to move towards the middle of the crease with the left stick and drop to butterfly. When you're in the butterfly, your goalie should get a kicking animation if they try a wrap, which you don't get on a post move. That's pretty important. Now I like to use this if I can see that there's a possibility for a fake wrap short side pass. It's a popular sixes play, and I think this gives me the best chance to make both saves, both for the wrap and both for the pass. Now, this is pretty important. If they're able to get to the front of the net, this does leave a short side gap, so quickly grab the post if this happens. Now here is a little guide I made for when I generally use post moves. Once again, it's not set in stone, but it's a nice beginner guide until you're more accustomed to the position. For breakaways, I like to wait until they get just past the hash marks. If they have a lot of speed, whatever direction they cut to is most likely where they're going. They're not going to have time to change direction, and I use the left stick to just move in front of the puck. Now if they can take their time, I like to wait for the fake before committing to one side. Skaters love to try fakes. And lastly, I'll see if my teammates are there for help. If they can cut off their forehand, then it's my job to cover the backhand. And don't be afraid to throw in a desperation move like the flying poke check or the spread eagle if you're not sure what to do. It is a desperation move for a reason, and it does keep the skaters on their toes for next time. Some final words in this video. First, have active eyes. Tunnel vision is a goalie's worst enemy. Use your peripheral vision to see who the open threats are on the ice. The play's on the right side, but this Oompa Loompa tries to sneak around from behind the net. If you can train your eyes to read these situations, you are going to be able to anticipate plays so much better, and your goalie overall gameplay will improve greatly. Study your opponents. Every team has go-to plays they love to run. Are they all about backdoor one-timers? Do they love to work behind the net? What are their go-to face-off plays? What do certain players like to do on breakaways? The more you remember, the easier it's going to be next time you play them. Don't get frustrated. Goalie is a lonely position. If you play drop-ins, your teammates are going to yell at you about every little thing. But remember, unlike them, you had the balls to pick goalie. Ignore whatever they say and just keep on working. Keep practicing. The best way to get better is through playing. For me personally, I learned by playing tons of games, and I watched other top goalies learn what they did, and the hard work has paid off for me. Now, every save, every goal, every play is a learning experience, and you can go over in your head what you did right and then what you need to do better for next time. I hoped this video helped. Definitely let me know what you think. Remember, if you have any questions, post them. I'm going to try and do a video answering those questions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.